Welcome back, football fans. Back at it with our weekly picks. Of course, we missed last week. Last week, I guess Kidblue would be considered our bye week. We missed a week, but we're back at it. I got my man Kidblue right here on the TV, and I'm looking forward to going over these picks with you, buddy. Now let's go over our records real quick. And Kidblue, what are you doing, man? 32 for the year, and we don't know how we would have done last week.
I'm slacking off. Slacking off.
We didn't do the picks, but last week, Kidblue 32, 44, and 2 for the year. But your locks, you're doing all right. You're 7, 6, and 2. 2 ties in your locks. So you're like even money in the locks.
Yeah. I think I'm picking them a little too accurately now, so I guess getting those pushes.
Yeah, exactly. And I did better the last week we did this. I went 10 and 4, so I got close to that 500 mark. Still, don't go by what I tell you. I'm still under 500. 37, 39, and 2. So I'm 2 games under 500, trying to get to there this week. Unfortunately, I am 6 and 9 on my locks. So that's embarrassing.
The great 6-9, man. There you go.
Yeah, the great 6-9. I'm sure a couple of kids got excited when I said that. But once again, guys, this, of course, is pre-recorded. Thank you for tuning into the premiere. If you haven't done so, what the hell are you waiting for? Go into that link. And I've already promoted Kidblue's channel 7 times in the chat. But go into the link and subscribe to Kidblue's channel. Thank you guys for being here. And we're going to jump right into it. Thursday Night Football this week, I think, is a fantastic game. And if you would have told me 2 weeks ago this is going to be a fantastic game, I would have said you're an idiot. But Kansas City Chiefs at Denver. Chiefs coming in cold. Chiefs lost the game last week. Not many people expected against the Houston Texans. They're favored by 3 in Denver Thursday night. I need your thoughts on this one.
This is a tough one, man. When I first saw that this game was on Thursday night and then saw some picks that people made, they were just instantly picking Denver. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on with the Chiefs right now? The Chiefs have been slowing down mildly right now. What are they, like a good, what are they, 4-2 or something like that?
Yeah,
4-2 right now, losing to the Colts, losing to the Houston Texans. Not a good look, losing back-to-back. And a lot of people don't have confidence in the Chiefs moving forward. They're only favored by 3 here against Denver, and we thought Denver was one of the worst teams in the league, getting blown out by Oakland in week 1. But Denver's defense is really coming on. They had 7 sacks last week. Before that, they had 5 sacks in 5 days. 5 weeks. So
they had no sacks through their first 3 or 4 games, didn't they?
Yeah, no sacks. And then they started to pick it up a lot, and now they got 7 sacks without Bradley Chubb, too. Bradley Chubb tore his ACL. So, Denver's really coming on as far as defense goes. Their offense is still a question mark. I don't think they're going to get too many points going, but I think the defense will try to keep them in that game as best as they can. Kansas City is just, I don't really know if they can be necessarily stopped, but they can definitely be slowed down. But I'm still going to take Kansas City minus the 3. I don't know. I don't think they're going to lose to Denver here, especially this is the AFC West matchup. Kansas City dominates the AFC West year after year. I know they slowed down with the Houston Texans. I know they slowed down against the Colts, but I have a feeling they're gonna cover the spread here and beat the Denver Broncos by over 3. So I'm gonna take them. I'm gonna take Kansas City here.
This is a really tough game for me to pick. It really is because Denver has started to play better. Denver's this close to being 3-3. That Chicago Bears game, they should have won. And everybody knows Denver's a very tough place to play. Divisional matchup. The Chiefs-Denver. I would not be surprised at all if the Broncos win this game outright. But by the same token, I still think the Chiefs are a very good football team. As bad as their defense is, now Mahomes is Mahomes. That's a question. Because he had that sprained ankle, right? Maybe he's not fully himself. 3 points. Denver's got a good defense. It is getting better. But I don't see them putting up enough points to compete with the Chiefs.
Exactly. Their offense just can't keep up, I don't think.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily know if the Chiefs are going to put up cheap numbers. They may put up 24, 27, but I don't think Denver puts up more than 17 unless they get some defensive touchdowns. So I'm going to have it something like 24-17 Kansas City on the road. But I will say, I would not be confident in betting this because Thursday Night Football historically, everything is going in Denver's favor. So I get why people are loving Denver. Thursday Night Football, the home team is much better than Sunday because it's only 3 days to prepare. Historically, it's a huge advantage. Then you got the whole mile high. The air there is always a big advantage for the home team. And Denver's coming in playing well. The Chiefs are coming in playing poor. So I get why people are in love with Denver in this game, which is why I'm going the opposite direction. I'm going Chiefs. I think the Chiefs bounce back, and I think they get back on track, get the 5-2.
Yeah.
All right, next game up, we got another divisional battle. Oh, my God. Miami Dolphins. Are they going to win a game this year? Miami Dolphins going to the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are off a bye week, by the way. They're at home, but a big, big spread. 16.5. Buffalo. I need your thoughts.
I want to believe that Miami can hold this game, being as a divisional matchup, but I can't see it, man. I can't. Miami is just the worst team I've ever seen. I mean, against the Washington Miami game. I mean, did anybody watch that game? Did anybody watch that game at all? But Buffalo, coming off their bye week, like you just said, their offense has been surprising this year. I didn't think it would be somewhat potent this year. It's somewhat potent this year. Miami just does nothing right. So listen, to keep it short, I'm going to take Buffalo minus the 16.5. I know it's a huge spread, but I mean, I could see it being like a 24-3 type game. Buffalo's defense is just too strong. I don't think Miami is going to be able to keep up, under 2 scores. So I'm going to say Buffalo here.
16.5 is a lot of points.
Yeah.
I love Buffalo. I've been on record as saying Buffalo is, and I think this at this point in the season, my mind could change, but right now, I think Buffalo is the biggest threat in the AFC to knock off the New England Patriots in the playoffs because of their defense. With that being said, I think Miami covers the spread. I think Miami keeps it close enough. They're going to lose. Make no mistakes about it. Buffalo's getting the 5-1. But Buffalo's offense is to me. They're not, Josh Allen still, I think he's got like 5 touchdowns, 7 picks. It's not like he's lighting it up.
It's not great, yeah.
He'll light it up against Miami. Don't make no mistake about it. But I think Miami will keep it within 14 points. I think Buffalo is going to kill them on defense. Miami's not scoring more than 10 points in this game. But I think Buffalo could put up like 17, 20, something like that. I could see like a 20-7 type game. I think Buffalo wins easily, but I'm going to give Miami a little respect, being that it's a divisional game. I think that they keep it close enough to cover that spread, but Buffalo's going to beat the hell out of them. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, next game up, we've got the San Francisco 49ers on the road going to the Washington Redskins. 49ers undefeated. The one of only 2 undefeated teams still left in the league. 10-point favorite on the road. What's your thoughts?
It may be a big spread to most, but I think the spread should be bigger than that. I mean, San Francisco has proven time and time again that they should not be reckoned with, man. They proved me wrong. They put a lot of people wrong. I wasn't a believer in the 49ers, and after that Browns game, I became a believer instantly. I love everything they're doing there in the with the 49ers team. Washington doesn't even know what direction they're going. They say they have a culture. Their owner or GM comes out there and says, "We have a culture. We have a great culture here."
Right.
And have you heard Eric Flowers and Landon Collins lately? Yeah, I don't think the culture is very good over there. Listen, Washington's a wreck, and if you ask me, what team has the worst future right now, it's got to be the Redskins. They have no future right now. Miami's one of them too, but Washington just has no
Miami's
future.
got a lot of picks though.
Yeah, and Miami's got a lot of picks, and Washington won that game against Miami, so now they don't get the first overall pick. So I mean, that being said, they're kind of screwed. So I'm gonna take San Francisco minus a 10. Like I said, I think it should be a lot bigger than that. I haven't blowing out the Redskins at FedEx Field.
I'll tell you right now, I agree with everything you said. I'm starting to buy into the 49ers. For a little while, I kept saying every weekend, I hit them on my 2 locks, but I kept saying I'm not in love with this team. But the more I watch them play, I've seen them a couple times on primetime, the more I watch the 49ers play, the more I start to believe that they're going to win the West. And their offensive line is really good. They have a good ground attack. That defense is much improved. They're going to beat the ever-living hell out of the Washington Redskins.
I love every second.
That team is a complete mess. The 49ers are definitely a top 4 or 5 team in the NFC. And I think this is a lack of respect with this spread. I know it's a road game, but you're telling me that you get 3 points at home. So you're telling me that the 49ers, they're only a 13-point team, better team than Washington?
No.
Washington's they're the worst team in the NFC.
That's for sure.
You got to be kidding me. The 49ers are going to blow them out. The defense will create a couple of turnovers. And it's the one thing, maybe the odds, I'm trying to think like why the odds makers would do this, is a coaching change. So maybe they think that sparks the team a little bit.
Yeah.
They're coming off a win. I'm trying to think, but I think it's too low too. I'm with you on that. But we'll see how the new coach does over there. So maybe spark some life into him.
George Kittle might have 3 touchdowns being Atlanta Collins is there. So George Kittle might have a big day.
Great point. We remember what George Kittle did against them last year.
Yep.
Yeah, a great point. If you got George Kittle, start him. Not that you wouldn't anyway. But the next game we got up, the Rams going to Atlanta. Talk about a disappointing team. Both of these teams. Rams favored by 3 on the road in Atlanta. Preseason, you would have thought this was going to be a great matchup.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Well, 2 things. I think teams are starting to figure out Sean McVay just a little bit. I think his system is I don't know if it's repetitive. I don't watch too much Rams games, I'll be honest, but I don't know if it's them being repetitive. They're just easily predictable. Don't know what it is, but a lot of these teams are starting to figure them out, and they're not scoring, the 40, 50 points they used to score last year. So, in Atlanta, what the hell is Atlanta doing, man? They are the most disappointing team ever. I don't even think they're really beat up on that team, right? Last year they had an excuse because they were so beat up on defense and offense. This year, I don't think they're that injured and they're that beat up. They just suck right now. However, Los Angeles is going there to the Dome, to Georgia Dome over there, and I'm going to take Los Angeles here to really prove to the NFL that they're still good. I think Los Angeles is going to have a field day. Not really big on Atlanta's defense whatsoever. Arizona looked like, just the best offense ever against Atlanta. So you're talking about Los Angeles here, and I think they're going to have a field day, and it's going to be glorious for Los Angeles. They're going to prove to the NFL that they're still a good offense. So I'm going to take Los Angeles -3.
Atlanta might be the worst defense in football. They might be worse than Miami. Kyler Murray went out there last week.
Yep.
And he scared the ever-living shit out of me because we got to verse him this week. The guy throws 3 touchdowns. He looks unbelievable. And then I say, all right, he played Atlanta.
Yeah.
Their defense is awful, and they're going to be awful in this game. And maybe that trade that the Rams made, to bring in Jalen Ramsey gets this team back into it. They're like, oh my God, even though we're 3-3, they still be on the team. We're trying to make a push. By the way, I want to just talk about that trade real quick. I think that was an abysmal trade by the Rams. I thought they gave up way too much, and I don't think they're in a spot. They could easily still miss the playoffs. Easily. And you give up 2 firsts and a 4th?
It's a win for Jacksonville, though.
Jacksonville's
win for Jacksonville.
Oh, yes. Take it to the bank.
He didn't want to be there anyway. They're like, okay, you give me this much. All right, here, take it.
2 firsts and a 4th. Jacksonville killed in that. Now, of course, if the Rams win the Super Bowl, but I love what Jacksonville made out. They can't lose that trade. Can't lose. It was a great trade. But as far as this game goes, the Falcons, they suck. Their only win came against the Eagles, and that game, the Eagles, half their team was in the hospital. So, so the Rams are going to win this game. I think they're going to win it by at least 4, or it's a 3-point spread. I'm not super confident, but I think they covered. I never like taking road favorites, and I still want to respect the Falcons a little bit at home. I know it's a tough place to play, but give me the Rams. Give me the Rams. Get the 4-3. All right, next game up. You ready for some Giants football? Cardinals.
Go, baby.
At the Giants. Giants coming in at 2-4, but only a game out in the division. Giants favored by 3 at home.
I'll tell you right now, this is going to be a shootout. Both these defenses are god-awful. But the Giants defense is getting a little better.
They are getting better. They are getting better.
That's definitely right. They're developing. And we still have some injuries on there. But Kyler Murray with his arm, and you have your deep threat there in Damiere Byrd, who looked great last week. The Giants safeties, to me, Jabril Peppers is a great box safety, but that's where really his niche is. But we have no covered safety out there. We have no deep safety out there. Antoine Bethea is garbage. God. I don't know why. I think that's one of the key matchups there, man. Arizona's receivers versus the Giants safeties, and Kyler Murray with his huge arm can get them the football. But I think there's going to be a shootout. I think Daniel Jones is going to have a fantastic day. I think he's going to rebound from, against New England, against Minnesota, and he's going to have a great day at home. And again, prove why he should have been picked 6th overall against Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals. I'm going to take the Giants to win this game. Am I confident about it? Not too much, but I still think it's going to be a shootout. I still think both teams are going to put up some points, but I'm going to take the Giants in like a 31-27 type game.
So you got them narrowly covering the spread.
Yes, narrowly.
I got them blowing them out.
Really?
Yeah. Arizona's
Let's
coming.
get it, baby.
Arizona's coming across the country for one. Okay, so that factors in a little bit.
Okay.
I don't read into what Kyle Murray did last week at all. Atlanta's defense.
Atlanta's
defense makes the Giants' defense look like the Seattle Seahawks when they had the Legion of Boom. And this Giants defense is getting better. I'm not saying they're good yet, but they're getting better. Dexter Lawrence, the safety, you're absolutely right. Antoine Bethea should be flipping pizzas. I mean, he is.
Where's Julian Love?
They need to put Julian Love in there sooner than later, and I think they will. And obviously we heard Barkley's coming back now. They already have Golden Tate back. Evan Ingram coming back. So this is going to be the first week where we really get to see Daniel Jones, because he had Barkley for a half, but he didn't have Golden Tate. So now, other than Sterling Shepard, who's probably going to miss the game with a concussion, right? But I don't. Do you hear anything about Sterling Shepard?
No, but I don't think they're really working on him.
He
had 2 concussions. I don't think they're slowing down. Yeah.
But if Barkley and Ingram play, you got Barkley, Ingram, and Tate, together for the first time with Daniel Jones. That defense in Arizona looks like my high school team. They are going to be able to move the football on them, no doubt about it. No problem at all. The key to this game is going to be the defense for the Giants if they're going to win this football game. And they're going to give up points, right? This team is going to put up points. But I do think they're going to force some turnovers. I really do. I think the Giants are going to get some pressure. The pass rush has been good. They got 16 sacks this year, and they didn't have any in the first game. So the last 5 weeks, they have 16 sacks against some pretty good offenses. The Patriots, they had they played well against the Patriots. So I think the Giants will create at least 2, maybe 3 turnovers in this game. I think they win this game by at least 10 points. I love them. Only favored by 3. Give me the Giants.
Oh, I love them.
3 and 4. Right. Let's go.
I love it. Let's go,
baby. All right. Next game up, we got the Raiders going to Lambeau Field. Raiders probably one of the more surprising teams in the league, and you could argue Green Bay too, even though I pat myself on the back. I hadn't gone to the Super Bowl before the year started. But we got the Packers favored by 5.5 against the Raiders. Raiders, some impressive wins recently.
Raiders have had some impressive wins, but I still think this is going to be a slaughter at Green Bay. Green Bay, I know they, that whole Monday night game was ridiculous. Detroit should have won that game, whatever. Green Bay is still going to put up an immense amount of points. I still think Oakland's defense is not ready to face Aaron Rodgers. I know Aaron Rodgers' receivers can't catch anything. They can't catch a cold. They can't catch anything, okay? But even so, I don't like Oakland's defense. I think it's a terrible matchup. I think Aaron Rodgers is too damn smart to face to face a defense like that. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't matter who you put out there. You can put me out there. I think I'll put up 100 yards. I don't like Oakland's defense. So I'm gonna take Green Bay minus 5.5. It's going to Lambeau Field. It's one of the more harder places to play. So I'm gonna take Green Bay here in the slaughter.
I'll tell you right now, this is my first lock. Right now is my first lock. Green Bay, lock it the hell up. and I know that the Raiders have beaten some pretty good teams. They beat the Colts, who I like. I like the Colts. They've beaten the Colts and the Bears. And
at London.
At London. Neutral field. They probably didn't sleep the night before, whatever it was. Mm-hmm. Maybe they weren't used to the 5-hour time difference. But either way, impressive wins.
Yeah.
Now they're going to Lambeau Field. Green Bay just seems like a team that's destined to have a great year. The Detroit Lions game, the refs helped them out to win. Aaron Rodgers so far this year, the stats aren't there. They're pretty good, right?
Yeah.
But that a large part of my opinion is because he played the Bears, he played the Vikings, he played the Cowboys, he played the Eagles, he played
Minnesota.
He's played some great defenses. He's going to play a bad defense this week. Aaron Rodgers is going to light them up like a Christmas tree. He is going to try to make up for that differential stats. He's going to throw at least 4 touchdowns. I don't care who his receivers are. Aaron Rodgers is going to light them up. If you play daily fantasy, pick Aaron Rodgers this week.
I've got him on fantasy, baby.
3 touchdowns minimum this week from Aaron Rodgers. Green Bay is going to blow them the hell out. That spread should be 12 at least. Green Bay gets to 6-1 as they try to continue their quest to get the number 1 seed in the NFC. Next game up. Big divisional matchup here. Houston coming off a big win against Kansas City. Now they go to the road against the Colts, and the Colts just beat Kansas City. Right? So both these teams just beat the Chiefs. Now they're playing each other. Colts at home favored by 1. Who do you like?
I'll tell you right now, both of these teams are riding high, man. Indianapolis coming off a bye after beating the Chiefs. They have 2 weeks to prepare for Houston. Houston just beat Kansas City, I believe, at Kansas City. If I'm not mistaken, was it at Kansas
I
City?
think it was.
I mean, they're both got their chest out. They both got their shoulders up. They're both walking in there about to face each other. This is going to be a
The
good
Colts
game.
won at Kansas City too.
Yeah, yeah. They're both going to be running in there with their heads high. This game should be a good game. Houston right now, I bought into Houston at the beginning of the year, and I was starting to slow down on that because they faced well against the New Orleans Saints, but after that they slowed down a little bit. But they're starting to pick back up again. I like Houston. I'm buying into them this year. I think they're going to upset the Indianapolis Colts at home. I know Indianapolis had 2 weeks to prepare for this, but I think Houston's on a roll right now. A lot of people are saying they're the best AFC team right now. I'm not going to go out and say that, but I think they're one of the best. I think they have the potential to beat the best as well as they did with Kansas City. So I'm going to say Houston +1 and to get the win outright.
You got me thinking here, Kidblue. This is a great game. This is a great game. The Colts.
Deshaun Watson, great. Yeah.
Oh, Watson's phenomenal, and the Colts are a lot better than people thought.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Colts. I'm taking the Colts. I think the Colts could easily win that AFC South. I still love what the Colts have. I love that offensive line. I think they're able to control the tempo much like they did against the Chiefs, especially being at home with an extra week to prepare. I think they come out and they beat Houston at home. I think this will be a split this year, but I think the Colts at home, the way Brissett's played, not that he's great, but he's been a good game manager.
Yeah.
They're going to be able to control the clock with their offensive line, in my opinion. They're going to keep Watson off the field, much like they did against Mahomes, and the Colts get a victory at home. I like the Colts. But it's a good game. Next game up, Jaguars, favored by 4 on the road at the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals don't have a win yet.
I'll tell you what, I can't figure out the Cincinnati Bengals for the life of me. They're one of the worst.
I can.
Yeah, I mean, they're one of the worst teams in the NFL. Don't get me wrong; they don't have a win yet, so they don't get any kind of recognition by that. But why are they? They're getting so scrappy with the better teams in the league. Right. If you noticed, they're a little scrappy with. They were scrappy with Buffalo. That score was close. Seattle was close. Against the Ravens was close. They're getting scrappy with some of these teams, man. But against Jacksonville, this defense is great. Now they're without Jalen Ramsey. It's going to be the first game without Jalen Ramsey. They may, have a little hiccup, a hiccup or two. But Andy Dalton is just garbage. Andy Dalton's bad. The whole offense is bad. Joe Mixon is probably the only highlight there. You have some good receivers there, whatever. But the offensive line stinks. You're talking about an offensive line that's starting Bobby Hart at right tackle. Okay, and they play.
Don't say that name.
They gave him a 3-year extension, nonetheless. So it's safe to say they're pretty okay with sucking there in Cincinnati. So I think Jacksonville is going to go in there. Gardner Minshew is going to light up that defense. I think Cincinnati's defense is bad, but I don't think it's bad as everybody says it is. I mean, they're still able to keep up in some games. I don't know how the hell they are, but they are miraculously. I don't know. But Jacksonville, I still think is going to cover the spread with Cincinnati at home. I think they go in there. Jacksonville is going to light it up there. There's newsflash, this might be one of my locks. I haven't decided yet, but I think this, now that I'm thinking about it, it might be one of my locks. But I'm taking Jacksonville on the road -4.
I hate Cincinnati. I never pick Cincinnati. I despise Cincinnati.
No way. Oh, wow. What about outright?
No.
Okay.
But
he said, go big or go home, man.
But getting 4 at home, like you said, I like the way the Bengals have played this. As crazy as this, what are they, 0-6?
Oh, yeah.
As crazy as this sounds,
0-6.
I've been impressed with their 0-6.
I know. They're staying scrappy with everybody, man. What the hell is this?
So I think they still stay scrappy against Minshew and that Jaguars defense. They're not gonna put up a lot of points, but at home, I think the defense shows up. I think they keep it competitive, and I think they lose by a field goal. I think I'm picking the Bengals to lose, but to lose by less than 4.
You think if Cincinnati somehow wins this game, they regret trading Ramsey?
Yeah.
I would say so.
Well, you know what, though? They don't think they're competing if they were willing to trade Ramsey. That's about next year, but they got to beat Cincinnati. I mean, if they don't beat Cincinnati, I mean, but I do think I have a feeling Bengals are going to keep that close. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see how the Jaguars defense does play without Ramsey, who obviously was a key part of that defense for forever over there for the last few years.
Sure.
Next game up, we've got the another divisional matchup. Minnesota Vikings taking on the Detroit Lions. Lions coming off that horrible game in which they should have won. Bad luck. They're 2-2-1, and their schedule does not let up. I've looked at it. The Lions have a tough schedule. They are at home. The Vikings are favored by 1 on the road. Vikings at 4-2. Starting to show. Maybe they're back. We'll see. But what do you think of this game?
This is one of the better 1 o'clock games to watch, man. If you guys have Sunday ticket and you want to watch a game, besides the Giants, of course. But Detroit's coming off one of the most heartbreaking losses ever. Trey Flowers got flagged twice for some nonsense. There were some other bad calls as well. Man, Detroit's going to come out on fire. This is another rivalry here, so they could take all their anger out on someone they already hate. So, and plus they're at home. And Detroit already proved that their offense is great with Matt Stafford. I like Matt Stafford. I'm a huge fan of Matt Stafford. Maybe not other people are. Huge fan of Matt Stafford. He showed that early in the game. Huge plays to Kenny Golladay. Kenny Galladay's on my fantasy team as well, so he's balling out for me. But as far as Detroit goes, I think they come out motivated. At the end of the day, who's the better team? I would say Minnesota. But I think just because they're at home, they're motivated. They're really mad about that loss. I think Detroit is going to come out here and upset Minnesota to get the win at home. Minnesota, as far as they go, their offensively goes, their passing game's getting a little better. I don't think it's going to be that way the whole season. They still don't know what they are. Last year, they were complaining they weren't running the ball. Now they run the ball. And then this year, they complain they're not passing the ball. Now they're passing the ball. They don't know what they are yet. They're going to get some hiccups on the road, on the way towards the end of the season. I'm going to take Detroit +1, and get the win at home.
I hope you're right and I'm wrong. I do not want the Giants to have to go into Detroit with Detroit coming off 2 losses.
Yeah.
They're going to be. Vikings are going to win this game.
Vikings
are going to win this game. I like the way the Vikings looked last week. We all know they have a lot of talent. And I know they were at home, but they look great against the Eagles. A team that I think we have a lot of respect for. And Kirk Cousins looked, finally Stephon Diggs could shut his mouth. He said, "Here, put this football in your mouth." And he hit Diggs for a couple long touchdowns there. And Diggs is now happy. Thielen's happy. Thielen, of course, killed our Giants. They got that great running game. They have a very good defense. This is I don't remember the Lions' schedule. It's probably the best defense they've gone up against. I know they played the Chargers. They played last week. They played the Packers. Vikings have better defense than them. This is probably the best defense. I don't think they've played the Bears yet. So
no,
this is probably the best defense the Lions have played so far this year. Top 5 defense in my opinion. We saw how well they did against the Giants. Yeah. And I think Stafford turns it over. We know that Stafford's not prone to turning the football over. I think they force some turnovers. I think the Vikings get to 5-2. I think the Vikings are going to make the playoffs this year.
Yeah. I mean, all the teams in NFC North are pretty good, man.
Yeah.
And screw you, Stephon Diggs. I traded you, and because you were scoring he scored like 10 points for me, and he puts up like 40 points the next week. Screw you, Stephon Diggs.
Whoa. This is the problem, Kidblue. It's like the stock market. Do you know in fantasy football you never sell low?
But do you know what I did to get Stephon Diggs? I traded Nick Chubb at the beginning of the year along with other players in there, but I traded Nick Chubb to get Stephon Diggs and a couple other players. And so I was very disappointed because Nick Chubb is putting up a lot of points right now. So I was heartbroken. So looking at Stephon Diggs, he looked like the redheaded stepchild. I wanted to smack him up, so I just got rid of him. And then there he goes, going out with Mike Nixon's team. Mike Nixon, he got Stephon Diggs, and he's happy.
You never sell low. That's a big mistake there, but it is what it is. But the Vikings will win that game, no doubt in my mind. Next game up, Chargers at the Titans. Titans made a QB change. Marcus Mariota no longer the quarterback in Tennessee. Tennessee favored by 2 at home against the Chargers. Tell me your thoughts.
I'll tell you right now, at the beginning of this year when they signed Tannehill or they traded for him, I think this was their plan all along. I think they knew Marcus Mariota was going to suck this bad because it's nothing we haven't seen last year. Marcus Mariota is the same thing we saw last year, inconsistent. And the problem is with Marcus Mariota is a lack of awareness and lack of sense of urgency. He doesn't have a sense of urgency, so they had to put in Ryan Tannehill. Now, I don't think Tannehill is going to be much of an upgrade, if anything. I don't think he did much in that game against Denver anyway. As far as Tennessee goes, I don't even know why they're favored in game. Maybe it was because Los Angeles just sucked against the Steelers.
They sucked all year.
Yeah, but 24-0 against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh was terrible this year, and this is the only time they ever looked good. So I don't know what to make of this game. I really don't. But I want to say Los Angeles pulls off a win here, and I had them upsetting here, but I don't think I can do it. At home, Tennessee. I'm going to switch my pick here. I'm going to say Tennessee gets the win. It's not going to be because of Ryan Tannehill. I think it's going to be more because of Tennessee defense, and Los Angeles just can't figure themselves out. They have all those players, Keenan Allen, all these guys, and still can't figure it out. I'm going to take Tennessee here with their strong defense at home, -2.
These are probably two of the most inconsistent teams in football.
Yeah, for sure.
The Titans and the Chargers, to me, the two most disappointing teams in the sport this year. Three most disappointing teams are probably the Bears, the Cowboys, and more so the Cowboys. The Cowboys and the Chargers, to me, are incredibly disappointing. Maybe I'm forgetting somebody, but those two teams. Atlanta's another one. But the Chargers have been so disappointing. A lot of people thought they'd be a Super Bowl team or at least a Super Bowl contender. And Rivers, he could be on the way out. The way out.
Very soon.
Yeah, but the Chargers 2-4 going into Tennessee. Tennessee makes the quarterback change, so maybe it gives them a spark. Tannehill's not the savior, but I will say I always thought Tannehill had a little more talent than what was shown in Miami, because Miami had no talent around.
Absolutely right. Yeah.
Not like Tennessee as much, but Tennessee is a really good defense. I do think Tennessee will win this game at home. I'm with you on that. I think it's close, but I think they cover that 2-point spread. I think the Chargers do. Chargers have shown. I mean, they lost in Detroit. They're not a good road team. They're not a good home team. They're not a good football team. But the Titans are going to win this game, I think. And I don't like the Titans, but I think they'll win that game.
Yeah.
Next game up, Ravens going to Seattle. This should be a really good one.
Yeah.
And I just lost you there. What the hell just happened there? Hold on 1 second. Sometimes this happens with the Skype. Kidblue is back. Ravens at Seattle. Seattle favored by 3.5 at home. One of the toughest places to play. 5-1 versus, I think, Ravens are 4-2. Big game for both teams because Seattle's trying to stay in, pace with the Niners in that division. What's your thoughts on this one?
I love this matchup. I think these teams are very similar, especially at the quarterback position. These are both scrambling quarterbacks.
By the way, I don't know if I said the spread. 3.5. Did I say the spread? Seattle's favored by 3.5. But go ahead.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, these teams are very similar. They have some good offensive pieces. They have a scrambling quarterback. And this should be a very fun game, a very Madden-like game, in my opinion. You're going to see Lamar Jackson and Russell Wilson all over the place, making plays with their legs and throwing the ball. As far as this goes, man, it's hard for me. It's hard for me to tell. I don't know. I'm going to say Seattle wins this game very, very narrowly. I would not be surprised if Baltimore wins this game. So I'm going to take Baltimore with the points. I think this is going to be a 3-point game. I'll take Baltimore with the points. It's at 3.5. So I can have them winning by 3 here. Seattle wins the game at home just because they're at home by 3 points, and Baltimore just narrowly loses. But this game could go any which way. I'll tell you that right now.
I keep saying Seattle's a fake football team. They keep making me look like an idiot.
Yeah, 5-1 right now.
They're 5-1, and I still think they're a fake team, but they have the best player on the planet. And Russell Wilson's the MVP right now, in my opinion. Either him or McCaffrey. And I don't fully believe in this Ravens team. I just don't. I don't even think the Browns are out of it yet because I don't fully believe in this Ravens team.
Absolutely right.
They're 4-2. Seattle's at home. This is going to be the first time, Seattle fans, that I'm actually going to show your team a lot of credit. I think you're going to cover that spread pretty easily. I think Seattle's going to win that game by at least 7. I don't believe in the Ravens. Seattle's a tough place to play. Russell Wilson he's the MVP. He's phenomenal.
He's awesome.
He puts that whole team on his back. Because without Russell Wilson, they might win 4 games this year. Might.
That's how vital he is, man.
Yeah.
That's how vital he is.
And I got to give Wilson credit at home. I think the Ravens are an okay team. I don't think they're as good as their record may indicate. Give me the Seahawks to cover the 3.5 at home. Next game up, Saints at the Bears. Bears coming off a bye, right?
Yes, they are.
They're favored by 3.5. Bridgewater's still in there. Saints haven't lost since he's been in there. Bears are favored by 3.5. What's your thoughts on this one?
To be honest, my mind says Chicago. Choose Chicago because they're at home and they got a great defense. But time and time again, New Orleans has made me look stupid. I mean, New Orleans. I think I chose Seattle in that game. I think I chose. No, I didn't choose Dallas in that game. I chose New Orleans. But still, I wasn't a believer just because Drew Brees was out. But Teddy Bridgewater is still a starter. He's still playing like a starting quarterback. I love New Orleans right now. Their defense is very underrated. Nobody talks about their defense, but it's there. Chicago is good. I don't know is Trubisky healthy?
I don't know if he's playing. It doesn't really matter, does it? He sucks anyway.
Yeah, he sucks anyway. But yeah, I'm gonna take New Orleans here. This is gonna be a closer game. Either way of the Chicago offense not putting up any points, but just because I think Chicago's defense is that good. So I think it's gonna be a closer game. But I still think New Orleans, they're gonna look like the better team, and they're still gonna get the win. I'm gonna have them covering the spread and winning outright.
The Saints continue to get shit on.
Yeah.
Ever since Breeze goes down, everybody just thinks they're gonna lose. They're an underdog again. I get it. They're going to Chicago. I don't care. The Saints are a better football team, and they're a better football team by a wide margin. I said at the beginning of the year the Bears are gonna miss the playoffs, and this is one of the games they're gonna lose. I don't care if Drew Brees. You said your mind's telling you the Bears. No. My mind, my body, my soul, everything, every inch of my body
Fingers, my toes.
is saying pick the Saints and pick a money line. The Saints are going to win this game outright, and I'm getting 3.5. Saints are the best team in the NFC. Time to start respecting them, Vegas. The Saints are going to win this game, and they're going to win them outright. No mistake. Make no mistakes about it. And there's a preview. There's my second lock. Next game up, Eagles, Cowboys. Can they tie? I'm hoping for a tie this week. As a Giants fan, I'm hoping for a tie.
God.
But the Cowboys are favored by 3. Coming off a loss. They're both coming off a loss, obviously. What's your thoughts?
I'll be honest, man. I hope every single one of these players suck. I hope this is just a crapshoot type game. I hope this is the worst Sunday Night Football we've ever seen. Just because I hate both of these teams so much, I just want them to look so bad. I hope this game, if there is a winner, I hope it's a tie as well. If there is a winner, I hope it's a 6-3 type game. Just terrible game. But both these teams are a little beat up. Philly might be more beat up than Dallas, if I'm not mistaken. But both these teams have some injuries, I believe. But
Cooper's questionable, from what I read.
Cooper's questionable. Randall Cobb went out in that game too last week. I'm gonna take Philly. I'm going to take Philly with the spread. I don't know if I have them winning, but this might be a really close game. I'm going to take Philly with the spread and to win the game. I'm just going to say that. I don't like Dallas. I think they haven't faced a real team yet. Philadelphia was one of the best NFC teams coming in. A lot of people still have them as one of the best NFC teams right now. Dallas can't face a real team. They lost to the freaking Jets, man. You lost to the Jets. That's all you got to say. You lost to the freaking Jets. All right. Sam Darnold found a way to beat Mono and the Dallas Cowboys in the same damn week. So I'm going to take Philadelphia plus a 3 and get the win outright.
Both these teams aren't that good. They're just not.
Disappointing.
But the Cowboys lose to the Jets. The Cowboys are in trouble. I mean, now
they are.
There's talks if they lose this game, they're going to fire Garrett. And I think they should.
No, please. Dear God, no, please.
I hope not. That's why I'm rooting for the Cowboys. I said at the beginning of the year, I hope Dak Prescott wins the MVP because I want to lock him up for $40 million a year. And I hope Garrett wins Coach of the Year and they lose in the playoffs. and I'm hoping that happens. I think Garrett's going to get fired. I think the Eagles are a better football team. Even though it's in Dallas, I think the Eagles are going to win. And I was very high on Dallas at the beginning of the year. I picked them to win the division. I am very down on them right now. Very down on the Dallas Cowboys right now. They got too cute. They bring in this new offensive coordinator, and they say, we're going to open up the offense. What are you thinking? You're going to open up the offense with Dak Prescott?
Just run the freaking football, bro. You got Ezekiel Elliott.
It's simple stuff. You got a great offensive line and a great running back. And I think because they've opened up the offense, it's worse than the defense. Because I think with the ball control offense, it kept the defense fresh, and they gotten way too cute. They gotten away from their roots. Dak Prescott sucks. I'm sorry. He's not a good quarterback. You need to realize this, Cowboy fans. You shouldn't be throwing the football. And Eagles are going to win. Eagles are going to win that game. And I hate saying I hate the Eagles beat. Eagles are going to win that game. Cowboys in a world of trouble. I picked the Cowboys the first 3 weeks. They won. I picked against them the last 3 weeks. They lost. I have a good track record with the Cowboys this week. They're going to lose this week. 3-4. Next game up. Patriots at the Jets. Patriots favored by 10. The Jets played great last week.
Mm-hmm.
Can they keep it up?
I'll tell you right now, this is a big test for the Jets coming back for another Monday Night Football game. Last Monday night game they played was against Cleveland, and they got killed. That was without Sam Darnold, but now Sam Darnold is back. The kisser. So with Tom Brady, he's also a kisser. So this is going to be a good game. This is going to be a good Monday night game, I believe. I think with the Jets keeping up against Dallas, and not only that, they beat Dallas. Even at home. They're at home against New England. I think they're going to keep it close, especially what we've seen with the Buffalo Bills against New England Patriots. It seems like with those two teams, in recent history, in a couple, for years now, Buffalo and the Jets have kept it close with New England. They get blown out sometimes, but they're one of the two teams that really have it out for New England. So with Sam Darnold coming back, the Jets are playing motivated football, man, especially on the defensive side of the ball. It has to be because of Sam Darnold. If you watch that Dallas game, I don't really think Dallas did too many things, especially, they did throw the football too much. But Dallas didn't really do anything wrong. It's that the Jets were just motivated. They were playing out of their freaking mind. They were playing like they were all on PEDs. Jamal Adams on that 2-point conversion ran right up like a wrecking ball, man, right up the middle and got to Dak Prescott. They're playing motivated football over there. They're going to be motivated against New England. Everybody's talking about New England right now. They want to shut everybody's mouth. I'm going to take the Jets plus the 10, but I think New England is still going to be good enough to win that game. I think New England is looking a little lazy right now, to be honest. Against that Giants game in the first half, they looked lazy. Tom Brady looked in the first half. So I'm gonna take the Jets to cover the spread, not to get the win, but to cover the spread.
I agree with everything you said. And I almost want to pick the Jets to win outright. I can't
Yes.
I can't do it, but I think this is gonna be a game that, and people might think I'm crazy for thinking this. I think it's gonna be a game that comes down to the final 2 or 3 minutes. I think the Jets are gonna have an opportunity.
That would be great.
I think they're gonna have a chance to win this game in the final 2 or 3 minutes. I think the Patriots win narrowly, but I think the Jets cover that spread. The Jets defense is very good.
They are good.
And I think they're getting back C.J. Mosley this week, if I'm not mistaken. So the Jets defense is very good. Darnold is back. I think very similar to that Buffalo game. I think the Jets keep this close at home. The Patriots offense has not impressed me. As crazy as that sounds, they're undefeated. It's the defense, right? And the Jets are going to struggle to put up points. The defense will have to create some turnovers if the Jets are going to win this game. But I think the defense is going to be able to hold New England into the low 20s. I'll say like 21 to 23 points. And I'll say the Jets put up like 14 points. 14 to 17 points in that range, like a 2017 type game or a 2014. I think the Jets keep it within the 10. And I think they keep it close. I really do.
I hope they win that game, man. That would be big for the Jets.
I think they have a shot to. I really do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But let's go over our locks real quick. Kidblue. I'll start with my first one. I mentioned it earlier. My first lock. What was it again? Oh, was it the 49ers? My first. I was one that I was really comfortable with. You know what? I'll go. My most comfortable. I'm gonna go with the Saints. I don't care that they're on the road. I'm going with the Saints. Getting 3.5 in Chicago. Saints are getting shit on. Give me the Saints.
Yeah, I love it. Sometimes you gotta get risky, man, and go with your heart, man. Go with your heart. Like I locked Green Bay. I knew they were gonna freaking kill the.
That was
Dallas
my most
Cowboys.
confident one. That'll be my second one. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take Green Bay here against Oakland, man. It's gonna be a slaughter. It's gonna be a freaking slaughter. They're gonna kick them right back to Oakland. They're gonna kick them to Las Vegas. They're gonna get them all the way to Las Vegas. So I'm gonna take Green Bay. Lock.
I'm taking Green Bay as a lock as well. So if you are watching the show and you plan on betting on the games, bet on the Raiders because we suck. And both of us locked up Green Bay. So bet on the Raiders if you're smart. You go against us. But I'm locking up Green Bay. I am very confident in that game. Love that spread. Give me a second.
My second pick is going to be San Francisco at Washington. Oh, man. The spread is ridiculous. San Francisco's still not getting any love. They never got love this whole season as far as the spread goes. The whole season. And they're getting a little better now, but they're still going to beat the spread by a lot. They might even double it. So I'm going to take San Francisco in a lock.
I want to pick that, but I can't pick two of the same games as you. It's just not. Can't do it. I'm
Great
confident.
minds think alike, man.
I'm confident. Well, obviously we're not that great of minds. I mean, but I'm gonna take the Eagles. Actually, I'm very confident that they're gonna win that game. They're getting 3 on the road in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
I think Dallas is falling off a cliff. I'll take the Eagles. So I'm going
Like
Eagles. I'm going. I already forgot. Eagles.
Oh, yeah, and you're with me on the Green Bay game.
Green Bay and the Saints. Eagles, Green Bay, and the Saints. Those are my 3 locks. Give me a third.
All right. So I will take, for my last lock, I'm going to take Jacksonville minus the 4. I know you took Cincinnati plus the 4. I'm going to say Jacksonville minus the 4. I think the Jacksonville defense is going to slow down a little bit because of Jalen Ramsey, but I don't think Cincinnati, I don't think that's going to matter. I mean, Andy Dalton it doesn't matter who's playing defense. Andy Dalton stinks. So I'm going to take Jacksonville minus 4. Gardner Minshew is going to put up some points, and that's my third lock.
All right, so real quick, your 3 locks were Jacksonville, you took Green Bay, and you took the 49ers on the road in Washington.
Yes, sir.
So there's our locks for the week. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to be live in, 20 minutes calling the Thursday Night Football game, so hopefully you guys tune in for that. But more importantly, go and subscribe to Kidblue. The link is in the chat because I just typed it 6 times. And it's in the description below. Kidblue, I always like to say thank you for coming on. Looking forward to next week. Hopefully, we can both get back to 500.
Hopefully, man. It's a long shot for me, but I believe in you. I believe in you.
We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But, guys, have a great night and enjoy Thursday Night Football.
There you go.